Espresso isn't made for babies. Then why are the cups so small? Hi, my name is Color Penny from Major Malfunction Films. Welcome to the channel where I want to take you behind the scenes of my video work and break down some of my VFX and editing. But from time to time, I also want to discuss the psychology of creation, being an artist, and how to get out of some of those slumps that we find ourselves in. Here in Canada, I'm in the middle of lockdown number 2. For the rest of us, it's been almost a year dealing with this pandemic, and I'm sure a lot of you are as fatigued as I am. If you're a freelancer, finding client work in the current climate is quite an issue. So today I wanted to discuss 5 ways to stay creative during lockdown if you're in a bit of a rut. The first most important thing for staying creative and just being successful in general is journaling. Now, there's no right way to journal, but I guarantee if you get your thoughts out of your head and onto paper, you're going to help remember your ideas more and you're going to act on them. So you're just going to be doing more in general. Write it down. The way I like to journal personally is I have a few different journals for different reasons. My first one is my emotion journal. You could call it a diary, I guess. It's from Mind Journal. I'm not associated or sponsored by them. I just really like their product. It has these check-in pages. You can go over your emotions you felt that day and then set some intentions for tomorrow. It keeps you accountable and it just keeps you knowing what's going on in your own head, which a lot of us seem to neglect these days. Then my work journal, my work horse journal, I guess you could call it, is this guy here. I put my film ideas, YouTube videos, script writing, poetry, shot lists, anything goes in this guy. A really good use I found for it is when I'm doing my sound design. I write a master list of all the sound effects I need, and then I go back and I refer to them and I download them all in one go. So I'm not flipping between my browser and my project file constantly, and it saved me a lot of time in the back end of my workflow. Now, you don't have to spend an exorbitant amount of money on moleskin or leather-bound journals. I do it because I like the aesthetic. You can go to the dollar store and pick up some memo pads for a couple bucks each. They're super small, they fold over, and they fit in your back pocket. I use them a lot when I was serving. They're fantastic. And one of the most overlooked journaling methods that everybody has on them is their smartphone. The Notes app on your Android or iPhone is fantastic. If you're out and about and you don't have a pen or pencil on you, you're walking your dog and you see something you might want to paint or photograph later, take a picture, put it in your notes, write it down, just so you can remember when you go to be creative, you have it there to draw back on. The second thing that's really helped me stay creative during lockdown is a little bit of daily exercise. And let me explain why. If you're in a creative rut or you're feeling depressed or fatigued from the pandemic, your brain is probably in a pattern of high beta waves. They're incoherent, it's not communicating properly, it's linked to the stress hormones in fight or flight, and it stops you from making important creative decisions. Now, if you introduce a little bit of light exercise, go for a walk around the block, do 10 push-ups, what have you, you're going to immediately release serotonin, dopamine, and a few other chemicals that flood your brain and move it towards alpha waves, also known as flow state, which help with focus and positivity. Creativity starts in the brain, and if you take care of your body will take care of your brain. Number 3 on my list of ways to stay creative during lockdown is inspiration and idea cultivation through active viewership.
Whoa, what?
One of the first things they tell you in film school is if you want to make movies, you have to watch movies. And I don't mean turn on Netflix and then open up Instagram. I mean really watch movies. Watch to understand. Dissect them, take notes on them, ask questions, and do research later. Because if you want to create something, you have to understand the thing you're creating. Now, this applies to all of the arts. If you want to paint, you should look at other painters. If you want to write, you should read other writers. It's not ripping off or stealing, it's idea cultivation. Think of it this way. All great ideas are stolen, but the best ideas make you think they were original. Next up on my list of ways to stay creative during lockdown is probably my personal favorite, because it's easy, it's free, and it's equal parts hilarious and humbling. If you're struggling to find new work, why don't you take a look in your old portfolio? Better yet, open your first client project. What do you like about it? What would you change about it? Tweak the project files so now it's in line with your current vision. And take a note of all the rookie mistakes you made so that when you move on to your next project, you won't repeat them and it's that much better. There's a reason football teams look at last week's tape before they play next week's game. They're looking at their fundamentals and seeing what they can build on so they have a better outcome week after week after week. You can do the same thing as an artist by rummaging through your old project files, doing a little tweak and improving yourself without really creating anything new. The fifth and final method I have for staying creative during lockdown is meditation. Stop. If you just rolled your eyes, you're not ready for meditation. Meditation is something you have to come across by naturally, and nobody can force you to do it. If I tell you to go in that room over there and sit in the dark for 20 minutes, you're going to hate it. You're not going to go on the internal journey, and you're not going to reap the benefits afterwards. Meditation is a super personal thing. It comes all from the inside of the mind. If you want to try meditation for yourself, there's no right or wrong way to do it, but I would recommend the way I was introduced into it. I started with 20-minute guided meditations. They help you lock in your breathing and they help you get your thoughts outside of your head. When you first start meditating, it's really hard to focus on, I don't know, the quantum, the ether, the stuff that's not there because it's not there. You're always thinking about your body, your hunger, your friends, your hate, your love. You have to just let that go. And you do eventually through breathing and putting your mind elsewhere. So guided meditations are great for practice, and then moving on to a transcendental meditation where you're just sitting in silence and you're placing your thoughts outside of your body. So if you choose to do so and you meditate for 20 minutes every day, you'll definitely move in the right direction to just be more creative all the time. So that's my list. That's the 5 things I do on a daily basis to help stay creative. Not just during lockdown, but during life, man. It's hard out there. If you're already doing any of the things I mentioned in this video, I'd love to hear about it. Please comment down below how it's helped you in your own life. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing. My main goal for 2021 is to really grow this channel. I have a bunch of behind the scenes coming, as well as some DIY film gear that I make. And of course, discussing the psychology of being a freelance creator. You can also follow my Instagram at Major Malfunction Films. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to have a day.